What is good, boys? So Sharif asked me to share my analytics. So today was a 2.5k day so far. The day's not over. We do expect to make it 4k by the end of the day. But let's look through the history of this page, shall we? Our first month was technically November, but we started like more than halfway in November, so I don't really count it. And we made a grand total of 50 cents, life-changing money. So then we go on to December, which was our first full month. This is when I knew that this product was going to go viral and make me a bunch of money. So our first full month, we made $1,099. So yeah, in January, we made it to 2,417, more than doubled it. And then February, I believe, tripled it, 6,800 or something, as you can see. In March, we tripled it again, more than tripled it. Oh, no charge. More than tripled it again to 19,760. So pretty much 20 grand. No, April was our first really consistent month in terms of how much we were making. We didn't need viral posts anymore because we were building our audience slowly. So April we made 33 grand. May we made we doubled it again, 66 grand. And yeah, as you can see, at the end of the month, we had a really viral post absolutely pop off, and it made us like 10 grand in a day or something. So yeah, this month we are en route to get to 100 grand, over 100 grand. So we just keep doubling, tripling, doubling, and tripling. So far this month, we've made $24,000, and we didn't have any viral posts. This is just coming from our audience, the audience that we've been building with the consistent posts and building our social media pages and whatnot. So far this month, 25 grand by the end of the day for sure. And keep in mind, it's June 6th. It's been less than a week. So yeah, this month we are on our way to make that much. And our conversion rate right here, if you look through the months, you could also see our conversion rate going up and up and up because we are optimizing our website as well.
Okay, guys, right here I have one person who DM'd me who did astonishing numbers with TikTok Organic. Feel free to introduce yourself, and then we can go ahead and deep dive into the questions that I have ready for you.
All right, so my name is Yasir. This is my first time being on a camera like this. So I've been doing dropshipping for a while, like 2019, but I haven't really received any success until recently. So yeah, I sent Sharif my numbers, and he got it checked out. He thinks they were cool, so now I'm here.
Okay, cool. So when you said you started dropshipping, what were you doing before that you didn't really see success with? What was your past experiences with that?
I was basically doing what everyone else was doing. I was just finding a product, putting it on Shopify, making a website around it, a basic website, and then putting ads around it. And I noticed it was like really hard to like market and find your audience, because a lot of the times people would suggest you just get straight into ads. And if you know anything about ads, you know it takes a lot of money. So it wasn't really working out at first.
Okay, got it. And was the marketing Facebook ads, TikTok ads, what were you doing before?
The very first time I started, I believe it was 2019. So right before the big dropshipping boom, 2019, I started. I was starting with Facebook ads, because TikTok ads were not really heard of at the time. Snapchat ads were not really used at the time. It was basically just Facebook in its own lane, because it had the best algorithm by far. So yeah, so I was using Facebook, and it was really expensive.
Okay, cool, got it. And now, surprisingly, you're doing TikTok Organic, and you've shown me some of the numbers. I've seen them; they're crazy. I know you're on your phone right now, so I don't think you could show a dashboard. You're calling on your phone, so send me some screenshots or recordings, and I'll throw it up over as we're talking when I'm editing this video. Just so people can see what's possible. Yeah, because I want to show people what's possible. And going into the first, one of the first questions is TikTok Organic worth it in 2023?
Absolutely. Honestly, I don't see an opportunity like this coming like within the next decade. It's an incredible opportunity. TikTok's algorithm is by far the most advanced algorithm. It can it can touch every minute type of like things that you like. It'll know what you like basically. And if you know who your audience is and you know what kind of videos will attract your audience, then yeah, I'd say TikTok organic is like the biggest opportunity of the last like decade to get extremely wealthy.
Especially with new people starting, it doesn't take too much of a budget. I'd say you know that from experience. You don't have to spend money on ads. You don't have to do all this extra stuff you used to have to do. All you pretty much do is post content on TikTok. And going into that, how many products did you test before you came across this product that you're currently scaling? And what made you test this product and be like, this is something that I want to go forth with?
So for the product that I'm doing, I really knew for a fact it was going to go viral. So it wasn't really a matter of testing out products. It was more of a matter of how much money I had, which when I started, it was like $80, $90. But in terms of testing out products and whatnot, I knew it was going to go viral eventually. So I just kept grinding. You know, it took like about a month to get my first viral post, but it could take you less time. It could take you more time. You just have to stay consistent.
Okay. And how long has it been since you started doing just TikTok organic in general?
7 months.
7 months? Yeah. Okay, so it's been a while. Was this the product that hit for you off the bat, or did you have other products that failed and you tried, it didn't work out? How did that sort of go?
This wasn't my first one. So I did have 2 products before this that I tried on the TikTok organic thing, but they didn't really pick up, and I didn't really see potential inside the market that I was inside and the niche that I was doing anyways. So after like 2 weeks to a month, I just dropped the products because I felt like I didn't see much potential. But for the current product that I'm doing, I knew for a fact that the market was growing, the niche was perfect, the target audience was easy to find. So it was really just a matter of time before one of the videos picked up.
So you mentioned you tested 2 other products within the time span of 7 months, this being your third, which is currently working for you. So you're going for more quality products, I'm assuming, rather than just churning and burning, finding a bunch of low quality products and posting videos for them and having like 20 products tested. You're going for the more quality products. Is that right?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like something that people are really missing out on these days is finding a product that is brandable, because a lot of the times, you know, dropshipping, the old style was just to find products, market, put Facebook ads, and then hopefully you just pray that it goes viral. But I feel like nowadays you need to find a product that my 3 type of like ways to figure out if the product is good is if you can target the audience easily. For example, let's just say a few months ago, actually before I even started this, I saw a pan going viral. Have you seen it? It's like the pan with like 3 parts to it.
Was it
eggs, bacon, and like oatmeal or something?
I saw the portable stove. I haven't seen the one you're talking about.
Okay, so before that, there was a really, really viral it wasn't even a really viral product. It was more of a viral post of a dropshipper who had like a pan that had 3 parts, one for eggs, and it was just like, it was kind of like a wow factor type of product. It didn't really solve any problems. The audience is really hard to target. Like, how are you going to find someone who's going to, you know, want to simultaneously pick 3 things? Like, it's kind of like non-specific. Yeah, it could be really broad. It could be old people, young people, college students. So you don't really have a particular type of audience that you want to target. So it kind of like gathers a lot of random people that have nothing to do with each other. And after I saw that viral post, I was like, wow, this person must be making a lot of money. I checked Reddit, and that same person posted their Shopify results, and they got like 2 sales. So even if you go viral, you need to know who your audience is so you can actually market to them and like find a way to make them interested. One particular type of set of people, if you know what I mean. Yeah. One audience.
Yeah, that makes sense, 100%. And what would you say for this product that you found and just future products that you're looking for are your criteria, and what made you go with this product and know for 100% fact that this was going to work? Is it a specific type of product? Does it have to have a problem solving factor, a wow factor? What's your products for organic look like when it comes to criteria?
So my criteria, so normally the dropshipping criteria is what was it? I remember like you and a lot of other YouTubers used to talk about it back in the day. Like this problem solving, wow factor, and a couple of other things. But I feel like it's a little outdated nowadays, especially for TikTok organic. For TikTok organic, I would suggest brandable. The market is growing, and you can directly target the audience that you want. Those are the three main criteria that I would suggest. And if your product goes into all three, then yeah, I'd just say go for it, and you need to, go all out.
Okay. And how long, speaking of going all out on a product, how long do you think that is the time span that someone should get the product, test it, and continuously post videos before they're like, okay, this is time to cut and move on to the next one?
Yeah, so I would say 2 months if you believe in the product. But if you don't, then if you lose faith in the product after the first 2 weeks and it's not going viral, or even the first week, if you lose faith in the product and you feel like whether the website isn't that good, or the product isn't that good, or the branding that you've done is not that good, then yeah, I suggest you cut it earlier. But if you really believe in the product, honestly, you should just go up until your money, kind of, you run out of money, basically, like how it was for me. And for me, it worked out, but, no risk, no Rari,
Yeah, exactly. And the
Yeah.
only cost pretty much with this is the monthly Shopify plans, the apps and all that, I'm assuming. So there really isn't too much cost, like ad spend. You have to spend money every single day. So if you have $100, I mean, you started with $80 even, it's definitely possible for especially even a beginner just getting into it to work. You just have to put in the grind, dedication, time, effort, and all that. Another question is, when you do post, do you have a schedule? Do you post a specific amount of videos a day at a specific time? Like, what's your sort of strategy with posting?
All right, so I do have like a really some things that I've picked up through the months on whether like the posting side of things. So I do suggest that at first, a lot of people suggest that you just spam the page at first, like with 8 posts per day. If you're trying to build a brand, which you should, because that's like, I'd say that's the new wave, building brands instead of like quick one and done dropshipping things, because everyone and their grandma knows how to dropship nowadays.
Yeah.
It's the people who know how to build a brand that succeed in the modern day. So you need to post once, maybe twice a day if you're feeling like you have some good ideas. Twice a day. I wouldn't suggest posting too much, because your page just looks spammy at first. You don't even know what's going to work or not. So I'd say you just think about like higher quality things, good ideas, use trending sounds, good hooks for the videos. So and then after like some time, maybe like after your first 1,000 followers or 500 to 1,000 followers, and you know what's starting to work out, then I suggest that you should up it to like maybe 3 times a day, at most 4 times a day, because then you know what's going to work for your audience, what type of content gets views, and a lot of the times people will like your brand a lot more, so they'll comment on your post every single day. They'll interact with your comments, and it just works out a lot better.
Okay, got it. And when you mentioned posting 3 to 4 times a day, do you have specific times of the day you post, or do you just split it throughout the day? How does that work?
So yeah, I do have actually specific things. So at first, when you're experimenting with the type of ideas and the type of audience targeting that works out for your followers and gets the most views, I suggest you experiment with different times of the day. Like try posting 12 in the morning, 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 9 a.m. And then whichever one does the best consistently, just keep posting and see whichever time does the best. Like for me, for example, I experimented every single time. In my first viral post, I posted at 1 p.m. and it went viral. So now every single post that I do for my page, I posted at 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. and they oftentimes get the most views, because that's where my audience is most active.
Okay, got it. And speaking before we actually start posting, with the actual account creation itself, is there anything specific you do there? Do you have it on multiple phones? Do you have different phones for each account? Like, how do you run on multiple accounts? How does that work?
So I don't suggest doing multiple accounts if you're trying to build a brand again, because oftentimes you're just going to look like a spammer type fake account. You know, it's really suspicious when like a loyal fan types your name and they see multiple accounts. It's really weird. So I suggest just having one account. And for me, I got really lucky. There should be type of service. So you know how you need 1,000 followers to have a link in bio, right?
Yeah.
So I had an old business account that had the link in bio before they put that rule. So any business account had the link in bio. So I did get lucky with that. Okay. But business is all about taking your opportunities and making the most out of them.
Yeah, 100%. Solid advice. And yeah, so do you think that there can be cases of accounts not performing, which makes it the reason why the product doesn't work? And if that's the case, is there anything that you know that it's the account that is the reason for the product not going viral, or if it's just the product? Okay, so the phone died, so we are back now, and going on to where we left off is the accounts not performing well. Where was that switch made from when you mentioned you had one account and you started posting on it for at least about a month, and you were like, okay, it's time to make a switch to another account? What did you notice with that first account where you made that switch?
So, you know, whenever you make a new TikTok account, at first you're always going to get like 700, 600 type of views with the first couple of videos, because TikTok likes to, you know, get users hooked onto their app. So it'll make the first couple of videos do really well. But if you notice after that, you can't even break 100 views, and you're posting like what you think are pretty decent videos. So here's how I'd categorize a good video. At first, 15 seconds, up to 15, 20 seconds is good. I'd say after you start getting bigger and bigger and bigger and having a bigger audience, you can get away with longer videos. But at first, while you're building your audience, 15 to 20 seconds is golden. Even a little bit less. Honestly, TikTok attention span is like the lowest I've ever seen in my life. So
yeah.
So 15.
Scrolling.
Yeah. If they don't see a good hook, up to 15, 20 seconds, and viral trending sound. You know the CapCut templates?
Yeah.
I'd say that's a really good one right now to get into the CapCut templates, because especially the viral ones, those are like such easy ways to get views nowadays. If you're doing all that and you're posting consistently for like 1 week, 2 weeks, and you don't notice any views, it's not even breaking 100, 200 views, then yeah, I'd suggest you switch to another account, because I definitely do believe that some accounts are just not good.
Okay. And you should only do this if you really, really believe in that product. If some cases people just choose products that don't really work, you shouldn't be spending that much time if the product itself isn't good. And speaking on the product, with this current product that you're making upwards of 10K a day nearly with, is this something that other people are running and you found it and hopped onto the wave, or is this something that you found yourself and just started testing it and you were the first one?
So I indirectly got into this niche. So I first hopped into a different niche. So I don't really want to reveal the product, obviously, but there's not much competition in the thing that I'm doing. I think there's one other big, really, really good brand that's competing with me. And there's a bunch of other really spammy small accounts that are competing. But overall, in terms of brands that are actually running this product, I'd say it's really just me and one other company.
Okay, got it. And is there anything for, let's say, somebody who does find a product, scales it really high? There's obviously competitors with dropshipping. You're going to have multiple accounts ripping you off the next day, like tens of thousands. Is there something you did different to where nobody's ripping you off, or there's not many competition, especially with how high you've scaled this?
Yeah, so there's always going to be accounts that are going to rip you off, especially on Instagram. I've noticed TikTok, not as many people like dedicate that much time to you. I'm not sure if it's like that for everyone, but that's just how it was for me. But on Instagram, people will impersonate you like that, like really quickly. Recently, we did a giveaway for the product that we're selling, and we got like over 2,000 entries. And there was dozens of accounts that were impersonating us and messaging the people who entered, saying that if you pay us $10, you win the giveaway, and they're just scamming all of our followers. So yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And yeah, ways that, in terms of TikTok, people trying to like compete with us, I'd say we're really the best in the industry that we're in, because so for example, the other brand that we're competing with has been around for 3 years, and we're doing similar numbers to them, and they've been around for 3 years, and they have a much bigger audience in terms of you know, long time audience that have been ordering off them for quite a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so their customer service is pretty bad. Their shipping times are really bad. Their UGC, the content that they post, is really bad. So we really just fixed those three things, and that's why we've really passed them what they've done in the past 3 years in less than 7 months. So that's what I'd suggest.
Got it. Perfect. And how would you say, for people doing product research and are trying to start TikTok organic and get into it, how would they go about finding these type of products that are products that can make them a lot of money?
Yeah, so I'd suggest that you don't do like the basic type of products. You have to really think about products that that have expanding, like, once again, expanding market is like extremely important, especially in today's type of audience. If you can find the expanding audience for a problem, and you can give them a product and they'll pay you premium for that product, then yeah, you're really golden.
Is there any ways that methods that you use to find these products, whether that's the For You page, just paid softwares, anything?
Yeah, this Discord service, to be honest. For example, the product that I have right now, I found it in a Discord server, kind of. So they were doing a similar type of product, and then it was kind of like the UK version, and it's really popular in the US too, but the US has their own version. So I kind of did the US version of what they were doing, and it worked really well for me. So I would suggest that you do invest money for example, you know how I had $80, $90, right?
Yeah.
I invested 30 of that in a Discord server where they just do product drops. They tell you methods. You can get to meet similar-minded people. You can partner with people on stores. Is really, really golden. So yeah, I do suggest that you invest in something instead of just, doing it all by yourself.
Okay, that's unique. So you had paid for another drop shippers Discord server where they teach how to do e-commerce, and they did product drops, and that's pretty much where you found your product.
Yeah, definitely. And they teach you a lot of things in there too. There's a lot of other people that are being successful in the Discord servers. So yeah, I'd suggest investing in something. For example, this course is really something you should invest in, because, a lot of the times people think that they can just break through and just do it all by themselves, but no, you probably can't. You're not, you're 1 in a million people can do that. So you really need to give yourself as many opportunities as possible so you have the highest chance of success.
100%. Learn from other people's mistakes instead of having to go through everything. Solid.
Yeah.
And as far as with what you're currently doing, do you have a system for posting content on TikTok, or are you still the one doing it? I'm assuming you're posting quite a lot per day now because it's working. Or do you have a team doing your content? How does that work?
So I do. One of my main problems that I'm trying to work on right now personally is being able to work with other people. So a lot of the times I want to do stuff by myself, like, posting on the Instagram, posting on the TikTok, making the videos. Even customer service I was doing up to recently, until it became way too much emails for me to answer by myself. Yeah, so that's something I'm personally working on. So as of now, I'm still doing the content by myself, even though I'm a full-time student. It's really hard to finding the trends is quite time consuming, and a lot of the times you'll kind of get hypnotized by TikTok because it's one of the best algorithms. Yeah, so I do get lost. So I do want to find and train people who are able to do this for me. I'm able to afford it, so it's a good investment for sure.
That's cool. And would you say off of these organic posts, what would you say is your most viral one, views wise, likes wise? What's your most popular one?
So last week we had a really viral one. I think I showed you, Shiv. It did really well. It got like over 1 million views, which is really good, and it translated to so much bread. Especially if you know who your target audience is. Like I was saying, you can get a lot of money from this, and the margins are insane. And the fact that we don't run ads, and our margins are this good, it's just excellent.
I was gonna get into that next. Before I get into ads and why specifically asking you why you don't run ads currently, I wanted to ask, what is the reason why your product with 1 million views can make so much, whereas somebody else posting a video and getting 5-10 million views may only get 10 sales or 15 sales, 20 sales? What do you think that is?
Yeah, again, it's really about the audience, especially on TikTok. TikTok is like, yeah, like I said, the algorithm is insane. It can basically, like, if you know who your audience is, TikTok can find who your audience is if you know who it is, and you garner your videos, like make your videos in a particular way that'll attract the type of people that you want. It's like definitely the best way to get to find and make sales, and it could be the difference between 10 sales from 1 million views and 1,000 sales from 1 million views. It just depends on the audience that you find.
Okay, and is there also a reason why videos go viral? Let's say a video goes viral for the sake of having a little crazy item in the background and it goes viral for that, versus going viral for just the product. What are your thoughts on that?
So, for example, the thing we are just talking about with the crazy things in the background, it can help sometimes. But one thing I would tell you to beware of is it will attract like a lot of immature kids. And oftentimes those kind of people are broke. They can't buy your product. So it will be liked and commented by those kind of people. Mm-hmm. And then TikTok will be like, oh, okay, this broke immature little kid that thought this was funny. Like, here's 1 million other of them. They'll do the same thing. And then at the end of the day, you don't really make much money because the type of audience, again, the audience isn't garnered perfectly.
Yeah, that makes 100% clear sense. And I guess in that sense, the product has to be something that can go viral for just the product, because you have to have a product that can be a TikTok type product where when you're posting about it, it has the ability to go viral, not just for having something funny or quirky in the background, but for the product itself. So when you guys are doing product research, make sure the product is a TikTok type viral product, or it has that ability to create content with it. Do you have to show your face for your product, or can you just hold it and record?
Hold it and record.
Yeah. Easy to record is also another big thing I see. Like, you can't have a product that you just have to take 40 minutes on recording, or it's a very complicated product. You want to make sure it's easy to shoot content with, because you're going to have to be posting a lot of content. And one thing I would like to add though, so the product that I'm doing right now, for the first 3 months I didn't have the product in my hand. I was basically like getting high quality type of pictures, even pictures, videos off the internet, putting them together, and I did get a couple viral posts like that. So you don't even need to have the product. If you can find like footage of what the product does, even like, for example, like, you know, the back massagers. Yeah. If you can find examples of people feeling relieved, having their back like feel good, like they're stretching or something, and then you can just here's another little gem. Have you heard of 11 Labs AI voice thing? Yeah. That thing, right now especially, it gets a lot of interest, because I don't know, something about that AI voice, the way he's talking is really interesting. So it does get a lot of attention. So if you just get the AI voice, go to CapCut, put auto captions, and then put some footage in the background, tell the people what your product does, then you don't even need to the product in your hand at first. That's a crazy value bomb. And With the 11 labs, do you choose some like famous person's voice like Drake or anyone, or is it just some random voice?
Adam. He's the one that pretty much everyone uses. So you can use the other ones, but as of now, I feel like Adam, something in the way he talks, his cadence is really interesting to people, especially on TikTok.
Got it. Okay, solid.
Yeah.
And do you recommend for people to do text to speech just within TikTok, just typing text and clicking the text to speech and having the TikTok robot voice just read over it?
That used to work back in 2020. You're talking about the TikTok voice, right?
Yeah.
The girl. Yeah, that used to work really, really well. But I feel like now you need something a lot more natural, especially with all these AI innovations coming out. You can use the AI voice that's 10 to like 100 times better than anything that TikTok can do.
Got it.
Automatically.
Okay, cool. And going on to my next point, why haven't you ran ads yet? You're killing it on organic. You're doing all these numbers you're showing me. Why aren't you running ads yet? And especially with the engagement that you have, you can run Spark ads and all this other crazy stuff.
Yeah, so the product that I'm doing is evergreen, so you can sell it year round. It's a growing market again. So I'm really in no rush to make ads. The UGC is popping off. The TikTok videos are doing well. Even on Instagram, the photos that I'm starting to post of the products and like models wearing the products are doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
So to be honest, I'm in no rush to make any ads, but I definitely do plan on doing it this summer because I'm a college student, right? So I really don't have time as of now. But in the summer, when I'm off of school, then I do plan on doing some TikTok ads here and there, Snapchat, all that. I can afford it now too. So
yeah,
it's great.
That's crazy. How old are you, by the way?
18.
18? That's insane. That's
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It is. I started when I was 15. So you just have to stay consistent.
Yeah, 100%. Starting young is better because you don't have too many responsibilities in the beginning, whereas the older you get, the more responsibilities. So good stuff. Proud of you. Also with your journey. So how long ago was it when you just simply had $80 in your account?
It was that 7 months ago. I remember I was really struggling, but yeah, I was really struggling. I remember I was really hungry one day. There's nothing to eat, and I spent $15 on something, and it felt like part of my heart ripped out because I didn't have that much money.
In total, how much revenue would you say since that 7-month time span where you just had $80 into your account up until now? How much revenue would you say you have done with this product?
We've done upwards of 6 figures in the past 7 months. And this is a brand new store. And, like I was saying, my competitor was around for 3 years. And we've already passed them in monthly sales. So I don't doubt we're going to pass 7 figures in the next year.
100%. And how much would you say, what was your biggest month and how much are you on average doing day to day?
Yeah. So day to day, I'm doing like 10K, like 5K, 10K, especially recently after the viral post. Like one thing that I am averaging is I'm doubling how much I'm making every month with the organic videos. So the very first month I started this full month, because I did start this in November.
Mm-hmm.
And then November I made, I think, 0 sales. Yeah, 0 sales all of November. And then the first full month, which was December, I made 1,000. The month after that I made 2,500, and then it just kept on doubling and doubling and doubling until this month by itself we're expected to reach 6 figures.
Wow, just in a single month from going $80 into your account, you're expected to do 6 figures in revenue, over $100,000 in a single month. And keep in mind, guys, this isn't paid ads, this is organic, so the margins I'm assuming are what, like 60-70%?
Yeah. One of the scary parts is the government because I'm a full-time student. Yeah, I definitely want to figure out taxes because I don't want the government, investigating me.
Yeah.
That's how much money I'm making.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like around, if you were to do the numbers on that, you're profiting alone in a single month $60,000 to $70,000. just going from $80 in your account. It's life-changing money right there. And you can definitely continue to grow this from the pace that it's going at, and make it into something big. So I'm excited to see where that goes. A few more questions before we close off the little interview is, did you face any challenges because you started with $80, you tested 2 products, you didn't have too much success, you started dropshipping in like 2018, 2019, not too much success. This was your first big win, and I'm assuming you didn't have too much experience with order fulfillment, all these new orders coming in, it must have been a big shock. Did you have any issues or little things you could give any advice on throughout this whole process?
Yeah, so order fulfillment is definitely one of those things that takes a lot of people back, because everyone at first is just grinding to get the first couple sales, so they don't really care about fulfillment because it's all about getting the first couple sales. But once the orders do start rolling in, it gets really tough to do it by yourself. So that was actually one of the very first things that I outsourced. So I got a shipment manager that now takes care of all the shipments. I just pay him. I pay him for whatever he orders, whatever he ships out, I just pay him. And he takes care of that for me. And I also have an accountant that's tracking the profits that I'm making and how much I should be paying for all these products and their shipping and everything.
Okay. Would you say that was one of your biggest hurdles that you faced, was order fulfillment, or did you have any other issues along the way?
Chargebacks, yeah. I'm pretty sure I messaged you about it. Chargebacks are really scary because Shopify could just put your account on hold, or they just take 15%. And the thing about dropshipping is the shipping times are really bad, especially at first, before you can get it bulk order to you. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the times customers don't even want to, and our customer service is top tier. A lot of the times customers don't even want to reach out to you. It's just easier for them to call their bank and tell them to charge back. And we've had to move payment providers quite a couple times, but luckily now I have found a bank that will take care of that for me, so I don't have to be worried about chargebacks. But I'd say that's our biggest hurdle.
Okay, yeah. And with anyone else dealing with that, if you are upfront and transparent, even in those cases, there are cases where people still charge back, but if you are upfront to your customers, telling them that their order could take upwards of 2 weeks, delays are being caused due to whatever reason, usually people are understanding, especially if they read that before ordering. But if in the case that your chargeback rate does go over a certain percentage, your processor does shut you down. Do you mind sharing the processor for anyone else who is going through this problem, or do you want to keep that to yourself?
Yeah, I do want to share. So you should go to these people called Payment Cloud. So they'll give you an agent, especially if you're doing a lot of money. So if you notice you're getting a lot of chargebacks, but you're getting orders, you're getting money, then I would suggest going to Payment Cloud. You can just search them on Google. You can find their legitimate website. They'll give you an agent. Their agents are extremely caring. They take care of you to the best of their capabilities. They'll make sure that they find a solution for you, whether you want better rates, whether you want better chargeback protection, they will protect you. So yeah, I would suggest you go to Payment Cloud.
Okay, that's cool. And what advice would you give for people wanting to do what you do, maybe were in the same situation or are in the situation as you were 7 months ago and are just trying to get started and make their money online? What advice would you give them?
If you're young, take it slow and steady. I don't suggest rushing it. You should, trust the process is something that I've learned through the process. You should put your whole heart into the process, especially if you think that you're doing good. And a lot of the times people will, fuck up and do things that they feel like aren't right. But if you stay consistent and a lot of the times YouTubers will suggest, have you seen the productivity YouTubers? Take cold showers every morning, meditate for an hour, read a book. I definitely don't suggest doing that because you will quit. I don't care. You could be David Goggins. I'll know 1 in a million people are like David Goggins where they don't give a shit. They're just gonna go at it. So I don't suggest doing that. You will burn out really quickly. You'll hate the process, and you just won't really make it.
I agree. Yeah. When I was first starting, I don't remember me doing meditation, cold showers. I was just doing straight work, which is what needs to move the needle forward in the business.
Yeah. So for me, I started adding those things slowly through the process.
Yeah.
So at first I was like sleeping at 1 a.m., waking up at 12. I had really bad grades. And what's funny is my grades are way better now while I'm doing the business, instead of back before when I had nothing to do. My grades were really bad. But, through the process, I found a lot of ways that I can discipline myself, a lot of ways that I can, find mental clarity, if you will, and just slowly add things. Like I've added journaling. Now I meditate in the sauna. I do both at the same time because I feel like it's easier for me.
Okay.
So I do that. You know how people say you should run for an hour. I walk for 30 minutes to an hour. So because I feel like that way I won't burn out quickly. So just find things that that'll make you not burn out. Basically, enjoy it. Yeah. Try to enjoy the process as much as possible, because once you make it, you're not going to be able to go back.
100%. Yeah, those were probably, as much as it seemed like a struggle. Even my parents, when I was doing product research or staying up till 3 a.m., 4 a.m., they thought I was like trying to like torture myself or something. But I actually enjoyed the process. And looking back, those are the fun times where you haven't really made it and you're trying to get to that point, because once you've made it, you could look back and remember those moments. And also, people look at people like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos and see what they're doing on their day to day and are like, oh, let me do this to become like them. But they're in a whole different chapter of their life. Elon Musk is way, way farther, and he's implementing these things because of where he's at right now. So you have to look at people that are where you're at right now and take advice from them, or maybe one step ahead. If you're looking at people who are 40 steps ahead of you and you're following their day-to-day routine, it doesn't make sense, because they're on a whole different trajectory in life.
Absolutely.
Throughout this whole process of running TikTok Organic and running your store, fulfilling orders, customer service, is there any advice or any little tips that you would say changed your game for dropshipping? Any hidden gems, any piece of advice you got from anyone that you would say is pretty valuable?
So use CapCut for TikTok UGC content. CapCut. It's definitely the best editor, because people recognize the style that CapCut has, and it's easy to make the videos in there. You can just put, like the gem I dropped a while ago, you can use 11 Labs. The CapCut templates are really, really good. You just scroll through TikTok, see what's trending. Like, for example, have you seen the sound "Treat Me Like YT"? That one is doing really well right now, and it's really easy to adapt into your niche. You can do things like that. So there's a lot of things that you'll find on your journey that you feel like no one else is doing. And for me, those were the things that were really working for me.
I haven't really heard that too much. I've heard go and find trends on TikTok and copy them and all this stuff. But CapCut is an interesting one, especially if you can integrate it with the product that you're currently running. It's pretty good. And is there any memorable moments, any moments you'll remember for the rest of your life throughout this whole process, from going to $80 to doing 6 figures in a month? Any life-changing moments? What was that moment where you realized, like, I made it, like, I'm gonna be good now? Any stories?
So as of I've made it, I'm gonna be good now, I haven't felt that moment yet. I'm really respecting the process, adding small things here and there, so I can enjoy the process. So I don't think I've made it yet. I still have a long way to go, especially since I've really only been successful for the last 2-3 months. So I don't think I've made it. But in terms of moments that are really memorable, I'd say the first sale is always the most happy sale that you get. Yeah. And then the only thing I'd say that comes close to the first sale is when you hear the cha-ching for the first time after you get a sale. So for the first sale, I didn't hear the cha-ching from Shopify app. It's something that's a little quirky, that's just really fun to listen to. Definitely.
Last question. What are your future plans for this business that you're currently running? Do you have any future things, getting into branding, putting new product lines out? What do you have going for you?
So yeah, I do want to start making original products, because drop shipping, you just find AliExpress things and you put it on your store. But it did take me a while to think about how to find ways to manufacture it, the type of product that I want to create. And then one of the great things about collaborating with other people is you can share ideas. And one really important thing that I forgot is about Alibaba. It's literally made to connect manufacturers with you, so you can make like products, original products, for example, clothing. You can even make basketballs, random things that you can just create. So we are going to reach out to a bunch of Alibaba manufacturers, and we will tell them our ideas and our plans, and we'll see whichever one has the highest quality, and we'll go with that. Since we have enough money to invest, yeah, it's definitely something that we plan on doing, and we want to make this a legitimate brand that competes with the billion dollar valuations.
Anything you want to say to anyone getting started or already in their journey?
I wouldn't say burn yourself out. Definitely don't do that, because you will just feel miserable. The process is something that's supposed to be something that you look back at and be like, those were the good old days. I was having so much fun building this brand. So don't make yourself struggle. There's a lot of grind culture things these days where people are just like grind. Don't sleep, don't eat.
Yeah.
You have to try your best to make it enjoyable for you, so that you stay consistent with it through the months. And eventually, I can promise basically that you will be successful, as long as you make the process something that's enjoyable for you and avoid burnout. You will make it.
100%. Yeah. It's cliche advice, but what he's saying is true. Everyone says stay consistent, but there's a reason why everyone says it, because eventually if you don't quit, you're going to end up seeing some type of success. You're going to exhaust the options of failure. I even mentioned this in the mindset section of the course. If you're doing something, stick to it. Don't give up, and eventually you're going to see something. And also a point that I didn't mention is enjoy the process. He is 100% right with that. Enjoy the process. Make sure you're enjoying everything that you're going through, and that way you won't burn out, and you're going to get way farther than someone who's going through it miserably. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can shout out your Instagram if you want, YouTube, anything else that you want, I'll pop it up on the screen.
Yeah, so my Instagram, you can pop it up on the screen. I don't really remember the username. I don't use Instagram much.
That's the first cool, man. Great having you on. This was Yasir, for anyone seeing him for the first time. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get some recordings from him so I could pop it up on the screen for you guys of his results, so you guys can see the insane numbers he's doing. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in the next one. All right, that's it.
All right. Perfect. Ooh, my back hurts.
Yeah, I'm trying to like stay up because there's a camera right here, this camera, this microphone, this like other thing right here.